The other day, in front of a live audience, I told a story that I was almost certain was going to get me villainized and maybe even hated a little bit. My business partner, Amelia, and I hosted this live event that we call Out of the Mud. It's an event that we do every single month. And this month, the topic was the cost of being low maintenance. And to start the event off, I started with this story of my grandmother who passed away last year. And the story went that I was sitting at her funeral, looking at her casket, and thinking to myself, I don't ever want to be like her or the other people in my family who lived lives similarly to her. And the reason I thought I was going to get villainized for that is because what kind of person says something like that? What kind of person has the thought at their grandmother's funeral, their final living grandparents' funeral, that I wanted to be nothing like this person, and that my goal for the rest of my life is to make sure that I am nothing like this person? It's a bold claim. I was certain I was going to get villainized, but I wasn't. At the end of that event, everyone at that event said how unbelievably powerful the story was. I received messages afterwards saying that it changed their life, hearing what I said in that event framed in the way that I did. And what I want to do is bring that here for all of you so you can understand why, looking at my grandmother who helped raise me, the thought that I had was, I never want to be like you. We have this idea as humans, and it's this really destructive and costly idea. It's sneaky costly that if I am someone who doesn't need much, if I am someone who doesn't ask for much, if I am someone who doesn't take up a lot of space, if I'm not a bother, if I'm not burdensome, I will be liked, I will be wanted, I'll be a better person. And growing up, those were the messages that I was taught. Me and my siblings and my cousins, we were all really taught, don't be quote unquote too much. Don't be problematic. Don't be a bother. Don't be a burden. If you go to someone's house, don't ask for anything. If they offer you anything, say no. If you're going out somewhere, don't make a scene. Don't embarrass us. Don't be too much. Now you grow up hearing these messages, and of course you start to get this idea in your head that, okay, I'm supposed to be small and reserved, and in order for people to like me, in order to be chosen, I need to be less. It's sneaky and it's destructive, because ultimately what you are being taught in those messages is that you having any need, you being a person who needs anything, you being a person who expresses wants or desires or values, you're problematic. What you should be doing instead is making sure that you are making everyone else's life easier. And if you make any sort of request, if you put any sort of burden on another person, you are bad. You are too much. You are problematic. And the world will cast you out. It's a really destructive narrative. It's honestly a very disgusting narrative, because we are ultimately teaching people that you don't matter, that you're a bother. And really what you're teaching people is other people matter more than you. So we talked about this in this event, and we broke it down into a couple of different sections. We said, what is low maintenance and where does it come from? What is the cost? And how do you start actually feeling as though you matter? That your life is worth anything? Because growing up with this low maintenance mindset, you really believe that you don't matter. You might develop an anxious or an avoidant attachment where I need people so much. I'll do anything for you. I'll give my heart to you. I'll cut my arm off for you because you matter more than me. I need you so much. Or on the opposite end, having to have people rely on me or needing to be reliant to other people is so much of a burden that I'm just going to take myself out of the equation. I'm not going to let anyone near me because I don't want that responsibility. I don't want that pressure. How do you even develop something like that? It's through these messages you learn growing up. You're too much. You're not worth anything. Your needs are a bother. Your needs are a problem. Children who are reliant on their parents, who are dependent upon their parents and their caregivers, are taught, don't have needs. It is too bothersome to us. So you develop insanely low self-worth. You develop insanely low self-esteem. And you increase your chances of harm. Because if you can't ask for anything, if your needs don't matter, if you're used to other people being more important than you, you have a higher probability of attracting people into your life who will exploit that, who will take advantage of that. Because they know they can get whatever they want. Takers usually end up with givers. Givers usually end up with takers. It's because of these messages. You learn to fawn. I don't need anything. I'm so sorry. You're right. It's all you. I'm sorry. I'll just bow down to you. Because I don't matter. You end up experiencing severe mental health implications, depression, anxiety, resentment, chronic health issues like cancer and tumors and cardiac issues and immune system issues. These have all been documented. You lose your semblance of identity because be less. Don't take up space. You're too much. You start to believe that you're not even a person. You don't know yourself. You don't know who you are. You don't know who you want because that's never mattered. What mattered was everyone else, their wants, their needs, their concerns. And it destroys people's lives. And growing up, those were the messages that we were taught. It started with my grandparents and their grandparents and their grandparents before them. And it got passed down into all of the generations. And sitting at that funeral, all I could think was, I wasn't taught to be bold. I wasn't taught to be strong. I wasn't taught to be capable. I wasn't taught that I mattered. I was taught to be small. I was taught to take up no space, to have no voice, to have no needs. And it cost me substantially. It put me in situations that I never should have been in, that had I been taught differently, I never would have had to go through. So sitting at that funeral, all I could think was, I don't ever want to be that way. I don't ever want to be someone who passes a message telling another human being to not have needs, to be low maintenance, to convince them that they don't matter and that the needs and the desires and the wishes and the comfort and the pleasure of others is more important than themselves. I never wanted to be someone who passed on messages like that. And so I vowed to myself in that funeral, I made a list. I said, when I die, here's all the things that I want people to say about me. She was bold. She put herself out there. She took risks. She erred. But she did amazing things in this world. And that requires taking up a lot of space. Putting out videos like this that have the probability and the potential of getting me villainized. And that's okay. I accept it. Because I know what's on the flip side of that. So if you are someone who is sick and tired of being convinced to not matter, to take up less space, to be small, to have no needs, no wants, to have no voice, here's what you can start to do today. Simple 3-step process. This is not going to radically change your life overnight, but it is going to help you to be able to make change over time. And that's exactly what I did. And that's what I help my clients do with our therapy practice at Evolve Ventures. And it's what you can start to do today. So step number 1, identify what your needs actually are. What would it be like to have needs? What do you value? What are the things that you've wanted, the things that you've needed that you haven't given yourself permission to say or to ask for? Get crystal clear on that. Step number 1, what do I need? What matters to me? What do I value? Step number 2, get really comfortable using your voice. This is exposure therapy. When you go into a situation and that intrusive negative thought comes up saying, be silent, keep your mouth shut, do not say anything. Say it instead. Do it anyways. Exposure therapy is tolerating the discomfort and doing it anyways, staying in the discomfort, teaching yourself that nothing bad is going to happen. You know what's going to happen? Your needs get met. And if someone is upset by you expressing a need, it meant that they were benefiting by you not having any. And it means they don't belong in your life. And step number 3, identify the stories that you were told, the beliefs that you developed, the narratives that have been guiding your life, that have been convincing you that you're not supposed to matter. Write them out and really ask yourself, is this true? Do I want to continue to believe this? And what could a better belief be? This is not a simple 1, 2, 3 process because nothing in life actually is. No real healing, no real growth, no real evolution, transformation is ever going to be simple, or it's never going to be easy. But I do promise you it will be worth it. I started that event with a story that I thought would get me villainized, and I was revered. I started this video off with that same story, and I hope you take it to heart. When you go, how do you want to be remembered? Who is the person you want to be? Do you want them to say that she never asked and he never asked for anything? They wanted for nothing. They did nothing. They didn't really put themselves out there. They just appeased everybody. Or do you want the story to be that they lived a life that was true to who they were? They did something with their life that mattered to them, and it made all the difference. It's up to you to decide, and you get to choose today.